Joining us on the program tonight, very pleased to have with us from Wyoming State Senator Kit Jennings is with us. And Senator, thank you so much for your time toniite.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Cam. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. All right, so back in March, Governor Meade signed legislation, constitutional carry legislation, and this is now the law of the land in the state of Wyoming as of today, right?
Today's the enactment day. Yes, it is, Cam.
Well, congratulations. So tell us about constitutional carry. What does this mean for Wyoming residents?
Well, basically what we did, Cam, is we took all of the provisions for permit carry and applied them to non-permit carry. So you still have restricted areas you can't carry in. For instance, you can't take a gun in concealed carry into a jail or any kind of law enforcement operations, courtrooms, unless the judge tells you can, and then he can carry too. Any government meetings in schools and things like that. But it's a step forward because a lot of people in Wyoming were carrying anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell you how many calls that we got during the session last year, or at the first of the year when we passed this, of people just calling and saying, "Thank you, you made me legal." So it's kind of interesting the number of people that we have out here who are doing it anyway. The other thing is in the paper today, my paper here in Casper, they had an article about the police officers in Cheyenne, Wyoming, giving defensive carry classes. And one of the things that the officer said that gives the classes is that now crime should go down because the bad guys won't know whether or not you're carrying.
Interesting.
And I thought that was interesting because we had a couple of the police organizations that lobbied heavily against the legislation.
Yeah, and were you surprised by that, Senator?
No, I wasn't, because what I found from the police organizations is the lobbyists and the executive directors of these organizations came in fairly strong against the legislation.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk to the general members of law enforcement, very few of them were against it.
You know, I've kind of noticed that phenomenon around the country. Actually, a lot of the chiefs, a lot of the political appointees will say things that are not necessarily supportive of the Second Amendment, especially if the mayor that they're working for is not supportive of a piece of legislation. But when you talk to the rank and file officers, like we saw in Nevada on a campus carry issue, a number of organizations have come out against campus carry, but rank and file members of these law enforcement agencies, including campus police agencies, were coming out and speaking out in support of campus carry legislation.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen that here, too. And when you mention the mayors, it's interesting because most of our cities and towns in Wyoming had to go back and adjust their ordinances. And one in Gillette, Wyoming, there was a gun group that supported the legislation that walked in, and they were actually going to pass ordinances against the new state law. And until some of the gentlemen there got up and reminded them that there was the Second Amendment and the Wyoming Constitution that said they really couldn't do that, and so they backed off. In my town, I got an alert that they were going to discuss it at the city council meeting, went down, and all they did here in Casper was change the ordinance to match the new state law, but I got a stern look and a little bit of a warning from one of the city council members that I would be responsible for the carnage in the streets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just smiled.
Jeez. Well, I mean, here we are, almost a full 24 hours into the new law, and I haven't seen any news alerts pop across my desk reporting of carnage in Wyoming. So
the loudest thing I've heard today is a firecracker.
And I'm guessing you're going to hear a lot more of those over the weekend. How are Wyoming's fireworks laws, Senator?
Well, it depends on from county to county. In Natrona County, where I live, they've outlawed fireworks for the public for quite a few years. We have a lot of area that's open, and around July usually is brown and dry.
Yeah.
This year the drought's over and it's all green, but it still does catch on fire, and it's one of those things that you kind of, I can't find where it says in the Constitution we can have fireworks. If I did, you know what I do with that. But other counties around the state sell them, so there's always the mass exodus to the county next to the one that doesn't have fireworks, so they can go over there and pop off your fireworks.
Well, I hope that everybody is responsible with their fireworks this weekend. We don't want to see any fires started. I will confess, as a kid, to accidentally starting a fire with an M80. And I can't buy those in Virginia. So, Senator,
well, ours were with bottle rockets, so it happened here too.
Hey, Senator, thank you so much for coming on the program. Congratulations again, and enjoy your Independence Day holiday.
We will, and thank you, Cam, and thank you for what you do and keeping the word out there that we do have these rights and they shouldn't be taken away, and that we should fight to get them back.
My pleasure. Look forward to speaking with you again soon. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
State Senator Kit Jennings from Wyoming joining us, talking about the brand new, newly enacted, now in effect in Wyoming, constitutional carry